So let's go chronologically. We'll start with December 31st, the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State, Boise State, Broncos back home, where they set the world on fire with an upset of Oklahoma way back in the day. Trying to tap into all the nostalgia vibes. Two good rushing attacks. Obviously, Ashton Jeanty going up against that Singleton Allen LLP partners at law. How does that matchup look to you?
I do not want this to come off as me being disparaging of Ashton Jeanty, because I am not. I think Ashton Jeanty is a very good player. He's been one of the best running back in the country all season long. Ashton Jeanty has not run against a defense like the one he's going to see in this game. That offensive line has not had to deal with a defense like the one it's going to see in this game. And if we think back to that first meeting with UNLV, how they were able to kind of pen him in, even though he got yards, he had to do it 3.5 yards at a time. I would wager that Ashton Jeanty has difficulty averaging 3.5 yards per carry against Penn State, because they are going to put 8 guys in the box and look at Maddox Madsen and say, "Go,
come on, dog, buddy. Come on, let's go.
Let's see what you got."
Yeah,
and I don't think he can. So I mean, I know you're an idiot if you're looking at Boise State as a big underdog in the Fiesta Bowl and saying they've got no shot in hell, but I don't think this is a very good matchup for them. I think if I was Boise State, I really wanted SMU to win
today. Bud first.
I like Boise's D-line a lot. So yeah. I think
second in the nation in sacks is not anything to like sniff at.
I think Boise also is pretty well coached defensively. They handled some of the go-go stuff from UNLV well twice.
Yep.
So we do that. Like, they do have the ability to kind of respond to some of the weird motion stuff and some of the shift stuff, which I don't think it's the same, but at least we've seen them handle some of that stuff. And it is important to note, like, this game got game scripted weirdly in Penn State's favor early on. In fact, SMU drove the ball on their opening drive down the field, right? And then Jennings threw that. It wasn't a pick, right? It was
a drop. Yeah. He could have easily
went for it on fourth down. They had the perfect play call. And if Jennings had run for the first down, they would have been fine. But he tried to throw it to the admittedly open receiver, but it was not a great throw and also a drop. But like, that was the frustration, because you were like, buddy, if you had literally just stepped 4 more steps forward, you had a first down.
Like, the Penn State offense we saw today was meaningfully worse than they were against Oregon, than they were against Minnesota, I think, and probably also worse than they were against USC.
Yes,
it felt like a step back.
I remind you, Penn State was playing in 20-degree temperatures with 50-mile-per-hour winds too.
This is true. I mean, to the point where, like, they basically refused to punt or kick. Yeah, it was. I'm just saying, if Penn State, if they were to get down early, it's not insane to think Boise could win the game. I don't think they will.
Here's what's working against Boise State. I think I saw, out of the 8 teams that played their first round game, maybe 7 of them, and I might only exclude Ohio State, kind of looked creaky early. Like, every one of them looked like they had taken some time off.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, like, every team kind of looked as a false start, substitution issues, got to call a timeout. You know, it wasn't crisp. And I think that's going to be tough on an Arizona State and a Boise State, who are going to be in a similar position without the talent advantage of an Oregon and a Georgia. So, you know, I think Penn State will be crisper when they are playing in the Fiesta Bowl than they were in all of the setting and scenario that they had with this kickoff.
So I think Penn State's 7-0 all time in the Fiesta Bowl.
But one of them was that Miami game, right?
So, I mean, this is a real battle of, like, Boise Cinderella versus Penn State domination in the Fiesta Bowl. This is like 2 worlds colliding right here. There's a lot of narratives at stake.
Oh, well, listen, this was the other thing that I thought about for Penn State. Like, do I think at some point in this college football playoff, we will have our Penn State steps on the rake moment? Yes. I just thought it was very clear when they were playing so poorly and yet leading by so much that is not the scenario where they step on a rake. Maybe it is Boise State, but we'll see. Lots of time to break that one down. Lots of time to pick it.